Hey, hey, Mark. I just wanted to say thanks because the Facebook thing you answered with that girl, I actually sent a message before you said that, and she like didn't reply for 4 hours, and so I literally unsent it and just sent what you said, and in 4 minutes she responded. Now I was like, damn, this fuck, I have to read this text more. Holy fuck.
Welcome to the Unapologetic Man podcast, the only podcast that's all about self-improvement, confidence, success, women, and being a man without making any apologies for it. What is up, my brothers from the Unapologetic Man Army? I super appreciate you tuning in to yet another groundbreaking episode of the Uniform Mike Papa, the Unapologetic Man podcast. We got a great one today, boys. I've been excited to film this one because, dude, girls will play them games. I often get yelled at as a dating coach because girls are like, oh my God, you teach guys how to manipulate women? You teach guys how to play games? And I'm always like, play games? Girls are some of the biggest game players out there. They will test you like no tomorrow, boys. And all the shit I'm going to talk about is nothing but a test. She's testing the size of your balls, bro, Tendo. She's seeing if you have a strong frame, bros of Stalin. And if you don't pass it, as many of you haven't in the past, she's going to blow you out so hard it's going to knock the toupee off your head when the concussion hits. So this is how to deal with the bullshit that girls are going to throw at you. Let's get into the content. The first one, boys, is trying to bring another girl with her on the first date. You guys ever deal with this shit where she's like, can I bring my friend? What do you think the answer to that is? It's fuck no. We're not having a little group date here. We're not having a hangout with you and your friend, you and your chaperone. This isn't 1950, dude. This is 2025. No, you cannot bring your friend. Now, do you just say it that way? Do you say, no, you can't bring your friend? Well, kinda, but you have to structure it in a way that lets her know that you're not to be fucked with, but you never want to be a dick about it. So when girls throw this shit at you, you need to show them that you have a strong frame, you have boundaries, you're not going to buy into what they're trying to make you buy into, but instead you're going to keep your frame and make her basically do what you want to do, or she can kick rocks with her head down. So this is what you say if indeed she says to you, can I bring a friend? You say, hey, listen, I understand that you want to bring a friend. If it would make you feel more comfortable, we can hang out in a public venue. But to be honest with you, I'm trying to get to know you, not really your friend right now. So I'd prefer to hang out one-on-one. If that's a deal breaker for you, let me know and we can go ahead and part ways. So essentially what you're saying is my way or the highway, but you deliver it in a fluffy way where she can't get butthurt about it. So it's essentially, this is what we're going to do. And this is what I say all the time, boys. Really remember this one. If that's a deal breaker for you, I totally understand. We can go ahead and part ways. So again, it's like, no, I'm not trying to hang out with you and your friend. I want to get to know you one-on-one. Perhaps I can get to know your friend later. If that's a deal breaker for you, cool. Just let me know and we'll go ahead and part ways. The second one that girls do is getting overly emotional, trying to test you with their emotional baggage in the beginning to see if you're going to put up with it. This includes throwing unreasonable emotional fits, being passive aggressive towards you, acting jealous in front of you, or doing shit that you're just like, what the fuck is this chick doing? What she's doing, boys, is she's testing you to see if you're going to put up with her bullshit. This always reminds me of the example of foster children. If you get a kid who's been in foster care, who's being punted from home to home, family to family, each family that he goes to, he will behave worse to test to see if they too are going to punt him out of the house. So this is what girls do too, is they're testing you to see if you're going to put up with their bullshit. Now, consciously, she may think, I want a guy who's willing to put up with me. But the truth is, she wants a guy who isn't going to put up with her bullshit. So if she's acting emotional, she does some crazy shit that is inexplicable. Like one time, I had a girl get mad because as we were walking to the booth in the restaurant, I walked ahead of her and she like freaked out about it. And I was like, hey, listen, is this kind of how you always are? Like, do you get angry about these tiny little things? Honestly, it was just the flow of how it worked out when the host was showing us to our table. Like, is this really how you roll? Because honestly, that would be a deal breaker for me. So you let her know that that kind of behavior doesn't stand with you. And listen, The dynamic of the relationship is set within the first 2 weeks. And this is why girls are going to test you almost consistently in that first 2 weeks to see how much of their bullshit you're going to put up with. Again, it's the foster kid example. Is this new home going to put up with my bullshit? Because if they are, then I can get away with a lot more stuff. And that dynamic in the relationship is established. So you need to immediately put the kibosh on it. And I will straight get into confrontations with these chicks. I will let them know, hey, if this is how you are, we should probably end the date right now and part ways. And you may ask me, well, do they always acquiesce and say, okay, I'm going to behave correctly because this guy is putting the kibosh on me? No. Sometimes I've gotten into confrontations where it blew up and we're like, okay, the date's over. But better I save myself the time than having to deal with this chick who gets overly emotional. So that girl who was like walking behind me, I called her out and I was like, hey, honestly, like this is the first time we're meeting each other and you've like already yelled at me because I was walking with the flow of traffic and I happened to get in front of you when we walked to our table. Is this how you are? Because honestly, that would kind of be a deal breaker for me. Or are you just kind of feeling emotional? Like you just got irritated because of something that happened at work. And in that case, she's like, yeah, I've just kind of had a hard day. I'm sorry. And I put her in her place, letting her know I'm not to be fucked with. I'm not going to take that kind of behavior moving forward. And if you behave like that, it's a deal breaker for me. So should we part ways now or do you want to continue this date? Again, sometimes it'll blow up in your face, but boys, if you let that behavior stand, if you don't put the kibosh on it immediately, it is going to continue. So you let her know, listen, I don't stand for that behavior. If that's a deal breaker for you, there's the door. It's essentially your way or the highway. And if she doesn't like it, she could kick rocks with her head down. The next one, and this is so annoying, is when she either talks about her ex a lot or she compares you to her ex. This is the same thing as I just explained. She's testing you and or she still has emotions for this guy. Either way, you need to let her know that that behavior will not stand. And this is exactly what I'd say. And this is what I've said in the past. Hey, listen, I've noticed a few times you've brought up your ex. I understand like it's kind of a fresh wound and everything like that. But when you're dating somebody new, just to let you know, it probably isn't the most socially intelligent thing to talk about your ex. Do you notice you've brought him up like 3 to 5 times? So listen, if you're not over him, we should definitely part ways. If, however, you think you cannot talk about him in front of me, then we can continue forward. What do you want to do? And sometimes she'd be like, oh, you're right. I don't really know if I'm over him. We should probably part ways. Other times, and this would actually happen more often, she would say, yeah, I'm sorry. I still have some emotions. I'm really mad at him. And I'd be like, I understand, but I'm not talking about my exes, right? I feel like it just kind of kills the mood. You know what I mean? It kind of honestly kills my attraction. It's not really conducive to what we're trying to do here. Wouldn't you agree? And she's like, yeah, I agree. Cool. Let's not talk about it anyway. And then I'll bring up something new. And one of the things I said there, which is really important, is it kind of kills my attraction when you do that. Now, obviously, you need to be a wordsmith. You need to use that tongue fu, as I always say, and phrase it in a very delicate manner so she doesn't get butthurt. But you saw what I said. Hey, I lose attraction for you when you behave this way. Her objective is to get you more attracted to her, and or it's a power play to get the power in the relationship when she's acting up like this. So if you let her know that what you're doing is actually having the opposite effect, you're actually pushing me away by doing this. And again, phrase very delicately so she doesn't get butthurt, so she doesn't hyperextend her anal chakra. You're very careful about it. But when you say this, it lets her know, hey, you're actually killing my attraction by doing this. So stop. Or you're telling her, hey, that's a deal breaker for me. Your little outbreak of emotion or you talking about your ex or whatever it is, that's a deal breaker. So if you can't control that, if you're going to keep doing that, let me know right now and we can part ways. Guys, it's your way or the highway. And the drop rule in my coaching states this: I will fucking drop you at the flip of a switch if you're not behaving the way I want you to behave. It's not a threat. It's the truth. I don't want to be with a girl who talks about her ex. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work for me. So can you control yourself? Yeah, I can. Cool. Let's continue talking. And again, guys, can't be with negative emotion. You can't yell at her. You got to be cool, calm, and collected. Deliver your point with a straight face, looking her eye to eye, totally emotionless. It's just fact. You're not getting butthurt, because the second you try to argue with her with butthurt emotions, it makes you look unattractive. Why does it look unattractive? Guys who are attractive have a strong frame. They're on their inner state of composure at all times. When they get emotional, that essentially telegraphs to women that they're in their feminine energy. They can't control themselves, therefore they're getting emotional, and that is unattractive. All right, guys, I hope you're enjoying the content so far. I used to always read reviews in the beginning of the show, but I realized that probably chases people away because they're like, I don't want to fucking sit through this. So I'm going to read a review from my 3-month coaching program that I just got from a client. I haven't done this in forever, so just listen to this, bro. Trust me, you want to hear this. Because if you didn't get the girls that you wanted this weekend, today's Monday, and you didn't get the girls that you wanted, you didn't get the numbers you wanted, or the girl you hooked up with wasn't really hot enough, or you're like, I didn't have any girls last weekend. All I did was fucking play video games and masturbate in a puddle of my own tears as I hit my head against the wall wearing a fucking helmet. Then you, brother, yes, you, I'm talking to you, need to hear this. Let me read this real quick, and then we're going to jump on with the content. I got several more that you guys don't want to miss, so stay tuned. All right, this is from my boy Matthew about my 3-month coaching program, a program that completely remaps your brain so you become attractive to women, teaches you the tactical aspect, the technical aspect, all the shit that I talk about in this podcast, but to a much deeper level, and there's accountability. It's a 3-month program. It's a brotherhood. It's a community. We are the Unapologetic Man Army, and every single client who comes through my program who does the work 10x's his results with women. This is what Matthew says. Over the past 8 months, I've had more fun and enjoyment dating than I've ever had in my entire life. I am dating this drop dead gorgeous blonde that I opened while shooting an event, and the chemistry is wild, brother. To boot, my friends were all shocked when I walked out of the washroom after that after party with the hottest girl on my arm. I can't describe how empowering it feels to attract bona fide dimes on demand and having the unshakable confidence to shoot my shot with any woman that I fancy. When I was in high school and college, I was the shy, nice guy that used to dream of attracting and dating the 10s. I struggled, but now I'm living the dating life I used to dream of with an abundance of women begging me to take them out. As you always said, Mark, replacing the negative belief systems in your head with positive ones is the first step to becoming an unapologetic man, and then putting in the sets and reps consistently like clockwork falls next in line. I'm sincerely grateful for all your mentorship and coaching. It drastically changed my life, and now I am happier than ever. This is a legit email that I literally just got this morning. I have screenshot after screenshot on my desktop because this shit works. It is a transformation, boys. It's not just more information. So if you're tired of being a podcast jockey and you want to get the skill set to attract any girl on command, I'm talking any girl where your friends are going to rename you the walking G-spot, then you need to apply to this program. I am not fluffing your scruff. I am not blowing smoke up your ass. This is indeed the most powerful transformation that has ever been created to turn guys into bona fide girl magnets. A twofold approach. First of all, NLP, working on what's going on inside your head. And secondly, the tactical aspect, where we help you create a system to keep girls attracted to you, make them fall in love with you. And we have a community that fights shoulder to shoulder with you in the trenches. And I guarantee results. If you're not happy with your results, you could stay in the program until you are. It is, in my opinion, a generational program that I'm going to tell you won't be around forever. So if you've been considering working with me, I strongly suggest you shit or get off the pot because this is your opportunity. Click the top link in the description below and apply for the program, and you and I will talk. All right, brothers, let's get back into it. So another thing girls will do to try to test you is to ask you to define the relationship too early. Like you've been on 3 dates with the chick and she's like, what are we? When girls ask, what are we? They're asking you, are you guys boyfriend and girlfriend? Are you just dating? Is this casual? And here's what you always say to that. So first, I always started with the joke. I'm like, what are we? Well, we're not unlike monkeys on a rock floating through space that somehow is rotating around a sun that warms us perfectly. Not too cold, not too hot. We're like in the Goldilocks zone. So really what we are is an absolute miracle, Cindy, an absolute miracle. She's like, no, silly. I'm asking, what are we? Like, what's our relationship status? And you say, well, you know, relationships that start fast end fast. I feel like you need to change with somebody to really get to know them. And I like dating you right now, but I'm not trying to put a definition on it. What I'm trying to do is get to know you better. And I'm trying to see if we really do have chemistry to justify putting a label on it. And I feel that does take a couple months. Now, if that's a deal breaker for you, I totally understand. We can part ways, but I do want to continue hanging out with you, dating you, because I really like you and I think we have some potential here. So essentially what you're telling her is slow it down. We're not in a relationship yet. You're not falling in love. You're just feeling some feelings. Let's take it slow. Now, if she asks you if you're dating other women, that is, of course, a completely different podcast topic, which I've actually done in the past. Off the top of my head, I think the title was something like How to Date Multiple Girls at Once Without Them Getting Too Butthurt, I think was the title. And that one you can go listen to. But essentially, if she tries to put a label on your relationship, you say, hey, let's slow that down. Relationships that start fast end fast. All right, boys. And the final one, which is one of my favorites, is when she does the old I don't kiss until the third date bullshit, or I'm not having sex till marriage, or tries to put like some logical framework, some rule that she's created in her girl brain to try to put like restrictions on you. Okay, first of all, we have to understand that women act on their emotions and justify them later. So if she's trying to put some rule in place, bro, that's her logical mind and it means fucking nothing. If you get a girl attracted enough, she will do literally anything. This is particularly true with women, but also true with men. If you're attracted enough to a girl, you will do fucking anything, bro. Let me tell you guys a kind of disgusting story that's completely true. I was dating this Christian chick once, and she really wanted to hold her virginity until she got married. And I respected that, right? I mean, I probably wouldn't stay with a girl who I couldn't have sex with because I feel sex is really important, but I respected it. So we were hooking up and I was like, hey, listen, sex is important to me. And obviously you're not willing to do that. I get it. I respect that you're trying to hold yourself for your husband in the future. Between you and me, boys, I was like, come on. But anyway, I was like, hey, I respect it, right? And I respect people's religions. Like, do what you want to do, bro. I'm not trying to fluff your scruff. So I was like, hey, I respect that. And she's like, well, I really like you. And are you going to break up with me if we don't have sex? And I was like, yeah, I am, right? Like, I want to have sex. And she's like, well, you could do me in the butt. And I was like, come again? And she's like, yeah, you can have sex with me in the butt because I don't want to lose you. So as long as we don't have vaginal sex, I'm technically still a virgin. So let's go ahead and have anal sex. And I was like, oh my fucking God. Girls who are attracted enough will do anything. So did I dip in? Not me, bro. Exit only. I don't put my dick in a poop off ramp. Okay. I don't want that shit on my dick, even on a condom. It disgusts me. I've had so many girls who I'm like getting doggy style and they're like, put it in my butt. And I'm like, no, I can't. Or like finger blast my butthole while you're getting me doggy style. And I'm like, I can't. I literally can't, boys. I've tried. I can't. I just physically can't. Now, am I judging you if you like to go in the pink and in the stink? Nah, man, that's up to you. Do your thing, brother. I'm not judging you, but me, I just physically can't do it. I've tried. I physically can't. So I had to tell her, nah, I'm not good with that. And I did end up breaking up with her. But when they have this like third date rule, or I'm not going to have sex until I get married, you have to agree and amplify with it. So you say, wait, you have a third date rule for kissing? That's ridiculous, dude. I have an 8-date rule for kissing. We are not kissing until the 8th date. Now, why do I do this? Because the second you try to oppose some rule that she has in her logical brain, her rule is going to get further ensconced and she's going to lose attraction for you because you're trying to push against it. Instead, what you do is you agree with it, you amplify it, you make it 100 times worse, and then you work on the level of attraction. Because like I said, a girl who's attracted enough will really do anything. So if she has some third date rule and you kill it on the first date, you are making out with her on the first date. Her rules don't fucking matter. The way you get over them is by agreeing with it, making it into a joke, being completely unaffected by it, blowing past it, working on the level of attraction. Then if you happen to kiss on the first date, you give her an excuse. Be like, hey, listen, I know you had your third date rule. I had my 8-date rule, but we just had too much chemistry. We just couldn't hold ourselves back. And you give her that excuse. The same thing if a girl sleeps with you too soon. Just be like, hey, I actually wanted to wait too, but the chemistry was too intense. We were just overcome by it. And you kind of give her that excuse. So these rules they play, these emotional outbursts they do, when they like flake on dates or try to define what you guys are too early, you always have to show them you are not to be with, you have boundaries, and what they're doing is a deal breaker. But guys, I have to reiterate, you have to control your emotions. If you get mad about it, or if you're confrontational with her with negative energy, she's going to get mad at you. She's going to blow you out. And you are, once again, going to spend the weekend, as a lot of you guys did last weekend, alone, masturbating in a puddle of your tears with a helmet on, hitting your head against the wall. Guys, I have a solution to turn you into a girl magnet. What if you get to the end of your life and you're on your deathbed and you're like, fuck, dude, all those girls who I saw, who I didn't open because I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do, I'm not confident enough. That guy would be better for her than I would. I'm too fat, short, ugly, bald, look like a chicken McNugget with tits, or a potato standing vertically with the fucking bathing suit on it. All these things can be overcome, and I have the program to do that for you. We work on NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to do exactly what we did for Matthew. Remap your brain, make you feel confident, and have the same life he has. Remember what he said, I have never been happier. What if you had that too, brother? I have the solution for you. Apply right now. Click the link. You and I will talk, and then you'll get on a free 1-hour breakthrough session with my boy, Victor Lynch, an absolute legend who too went through the program, had 0 girls. And I could tell you the girl that he's dating right now, absolute freaking 10, amazing girl. Beautiful, smart, successful. And my boy, Victor too, is a happy client, as all my clients are. You too can experience it, brother. Apply right now. Guys, I super appreciate you listening. Please stay tuned for the next one as I drop podcasts on Mondays and Thursdays, and I will see you in the next episode.